So this is my Gen 2 2017 M209. This is my brand new Gen 4 2024 M209 SP. I've had this for about 5 years. I've had this for about 2 weeks. And I'm going to tell you the top 5 best differences between the Gen 2 and the Gen 4. Now, I know this is an SP model. We're not going to be going over all the SP bonuses in this video. I will save that for a future video on why I think the SP bonuses are worth the extra couple grand. Today, we're just going to talk about Gen 2 versus Gen 4, top 5 differences. Let's go. Best difference number 1 is riding supports and electronics. Now, if we look here at the 2017, what do I have? I have 3 TCS options, traction control, 1, 2, and off. And I have riding mode A, B, and standard. That's it. And I got ABS as well, which I can't turn off. Always on ABS unless you pull the fuse. That's all you got. Traction control, different riding modes, and ABS. Now, if we come over to the 2024 M209, we have, let me list them. Off the top of my head, we have traction control, lift control or wheelie control, slide control, brake control, ABS. ABS you can turn off and on. There's one I'm missing that I can't remember. The quick shifter, you can enable and disable all of the different quick shifter features, which we'll get into in a minute. So just that in itself, having all of those different modes, wheelie control, 3 levels of wheelie control, 3 levels of slide control. I'm never going to use slide control, man, but it's cool that it's on here. Brake control, I don't even know what that does yet, or cornering control, I think it is also called. And traction control obviously is a good one to have. And you got the front and rear ABS. The rear ABS you can turn off in the settings, which is great. I think actually off the top of my head that might be an SP model only feature. I'll have to see if that's correct, but you can turn off the rear on this bike. And that's it for riding supports and electronics on this bike. I'll go more into some of the electronics in a minute, but riding support, there's a lot more to choose from on the 2024. All right, second difference, and one of my personal favorites, is the quick shifter unit. The 2024 uses the Yamaha Gen 3 quick shifter, whereas the second gen over there only uses the first gen quick shifter. Now, what are the differences, you ask? Let's go over here to the second gen first. Now, this is as standard as a quick shifter gets. It can quick shift up, and that's it. So while you're on the throttle, hit the quick shifter up. You can go into second, third, fourth gear without dropping the throttle. And that's all it does. You can't go down, you can just go up. Coming over to the Yamaha Gen 3 quick shifter on the Gen 4. I know you get them confused. Gen 4 bike, Gen 3 quick shifter. Now, the Gen 3 allows for you to upshift, just like the Gen 1. It allows for you to auto blip down a gear. What's new on the Gen 3 is that you can actually auto blip down while you're wide open throttle. So say you're in 4th gear, give it a bunch of throttle, you're not quite in the power band. While you still have the throttle open, you can bang down a gear, it'll change gear, you keep going. Another thing that Gen 3 does is you can upshift without giving it any throttle. So you can just let go of the handlebars and you can upshift and it will just upshift for you. I think it's great. I use the downshifter, the auto blipper, all the time on it. And it's just great that Yamaha included that factory into the 2024. All right, number 3, what do we got? Display. Now the Gen 2 display is as basic as it gets. You turn it on, it has the black on white or white on black, whether or not you have the SP model or if you've inverted the dash like I have. And that's about it. It shows you your fuel, shows you your gear, your speed, your traction control, and that's about it. That's all it shows you. You can't change anything on it apart from seeing your temperature or the miles on the bike or your trips and stuff like that. That's all you can see. Pretty standard dash. Coming over to the 2024 model, we have a much larger TFT display, full color. And when I tell you that this display is customizable, it's customizable. I'm going to do a deep dive video into the dash and all the media connectivity and dash and theme settings that you can change but I'll just give you a quick rundown. You can change the theme on this one. You can go through, change all the settings of the bike. You can see a whole bunch of information on the bike, like when your next oil change needs to be, all of that straight through the TFT display. I love it. It's super bright. You can see it no matter how sunny it is. I love it. That's my number 3. All right, in at number 4, something only the 2024 has is cruise control right here. Now you may think this is a small thing, and I did as well, but it's something that I use almost every time I'm on the highway. Actually, come to think about it, every single time I've been on the highway, I've used cruise control in some way or another. It's something that the Gen 2 simply doesn't have. The Gen 3 SP had it. I don't think the base model did, no. But the base model 2024 has cruise control, and in my opinion, it's a better setup with the controls and how you use it, but that's just my preference. Whether you're doing a 5-minute trip down the highway or if you're doing a road trip, cruise control is a great thing to have. It just lets you relax your hands and your palms. Just, it's so good, man. You need to try it. Now, I had to think for a while about number 5. I couldn't quite put my finger on what to make the final difference, but it occurred to me every time I sit on the bike, I'm reminded of how comfortable it is. Yamaha changed the frame and the ergonomics, the seats and the bars, everything on this bike, and it is, I'd say it's a lot different to this one. You guys probably can't see very well, but the feet are lifted up just a little bit. I'm quite tall, I'm 6'3", so my legs already usually ride pretty high up, but they ride up nice and high, kind of like if I was on a sports bike, but my body is still upright, a tiny bit leant forward, and the handlebars are right there. If you ask me, it's as comfortable as you'd want it to be for a naked bike. Now, I can't give you a proper comparison on the Gen 2 because I do have aftermarket rear sets and an aftermarket bar. These bars are lower, the rear sets are higher, so it's a lot like this bike. But usually with the stock rear sets, the pegs are a lot lower down, the handlebars are usually a lot higher, and you find yourself kind of sitting more upright like this rather than leant forward like this. It's not a huge difference, but in my opinion, it helps a lot. And just a final note with the Gen 4, something I never liked on the M209s, but I kind of just put up with it, is a single seat banana seat. Finally, they've upgraded to a dual seat. So now when I'm getting my MotoGP on, I can rest my butt right up against that back seat, and it gives me a lot more support than just having a slippery banana seat like this. There's just something about having 2 different seats and something to rest your butt against when you're in that full tuck position, makes it way better. So that's my top 5 differences between the Gen 2 and the Gen 4. Let me know what you guys think. You reckon they're valid reasons to upgrade? I think they do. 500 kilometers on the bike and it's going great for me. I'm keen to keep making videos about this new bike, so if you guys have any questions whatsoever about it, let me know in the comments below. I'll make the video for you. Give this video a like, help me support the channel. I'll see you next time.